Welcome to another episode of MoloMolo Tech Talk. I'm Dr. PK, and guess who is with us but just dropped off? It's Anele. Wow, what an amazing show we have for you tonight. Really excited to have everybody. Welcome to another episode of MoloMolo Tech Talk. Let's go. All right. Really welcome everybody to another episode of MoloMolo Tech Talk. I'm Dr. PK. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a really tough Friday for me. Oh, wow. I will tell you more about it, but I think it ties up really well to today's topic. I hope Anele is with us today, which is really exciting. So I don't have to speak to myself or speak to Tommy, my AI agent. But hopefully Anele will join us again. Anele, welcome.
Hi, Dr. PK. Hi, everyone. Apologies for the tech issues, but I'm here and I'm so excited to be back on screen. I haven't been on screen for the past three broadcasts, but I'm really excited to just engage with everyone once again.
Yeah,
And
man.
yeah, to just get our hands dirty with the right topics before we get the weekend started.
Awesome. Anele, really excited to have you on again. It's been a minute, as they say. It's been a minute, but I'm really excited to be able to have this platform again with you this afternoon. It's a Friday. I was just telling everybody that yeah, man, this Friday's been it's been a tough one for me. It's and I will get more into it. And I think it ties quite well into today's topic. So today's topic, let me not waste any time. So today's topic is an interesting one, and it's got to do with the duality between your digital and your real identity. Today, it is, I would say, for most of us, it is at the forefront of who we really want to be known as and who we really are known as in reality. And it's weird because it is incredibly dangerous to have almost polar opposite personas on social media, and then when you meet the person you're like, there's no way, like,
Yeah.
no way, like, you are that guy. No, I don't believe you. So it is an interesting topic, but I wanted to start off with kind of my view on it, or at least based on the on today what happened and what I was part of. So unfortunately, today I was even though I was online, I was participating and doing all sorts of tech support for the broadcast of the funeral of my grandmother, or at least my wife's
So
grandmother, which is essentially mine. She was 97 years old, full of life until a couple of months ago, and unfortunately today was her funeral. Really tough. A whole lot of people, as you can imagine, 97-year-old. It's yeah, you've lived a minute, a minute and a half.
yeah,
And but more importantly, in high ties up with today's topic is you realize how she come from an era where your digital self didn't matter. And all that mattered was the hard work you have to put into people, into meeting people, into helping people. She was an educator, so she helped a lot of people, and she was a principal too. So it goes even further, right? And one of the things that I basically the first kind of ways that I think this ties up is, integrity. What who are you as a person that is unwilling to compromise irrespective of who you speak to or how you speak to, on which platform you speak to them. And that is something that is not, it's easier said than done, because and I'm sure Anela, you can confirm, right? And you can give your opinion on that. It's sometimes you can hide from being that authentic self just because you're on this platform, or you just go with the wave, right?
Sure. I mean, the digital space does give us more opportunities to curate our identity and our brand. And like I was saying earlier, it can work to our advantage when we are curating ourselves as a brand. But I think it can also work to our disadvantage when we have values that we uphold as people, and it gets lost in the blurred lines in between who you show up as online and who you actually are in the world. And again, I'd like to say condolences to you and your family, Dr. PK.
Thanks.
Life really is about how we make the ones that we leave behind feel on Earth while we're alive. And I think in today's time, with so many different opportunities to kind of exhibit the different people that we are, it's such a tricky time to be alive, you know? Like you say, there'll be people that you will meet in real life, and they'll be so different to the people that they are on the digital screen. And it's happened to me so many times as well. I get excited. I'll see a TikTok and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I watch your TikToks. And they just like, well, I don't care. I'm having a bad day. And it's fine, because again, it brings up a new level of online celebrity management, which I'm sure we'll talk about another time. But I think it all just brings us back to integrity. Who are you when the internet is not watching, right? So who are you when nobody is watching? We've seen a lot of people, especially high profile people, be exposed for who they really are when nobody is watching. And one of the reasons why in today's times we're able to speak so openly about sensitive issues and fight back towards causes that we really feel have disempowered us as people is because of exposure, because of digital, because we're able to actually expose people for who they really are, as opposed to
Oh, I think we've
having
lost Anele
the
there.
PR
Oh
company
man.
um,
But I
that can
think
then
I
manage
think
your
to pick up
brand.
on what she's trying to say is that,
Hi,
man,
Dr.
it is
PK.
it is not easy to essentially have this duality, work out every time. And I don't think that's the point. But I think the topic here is, what type of effort are you making? What type of measures, what type of boundaries are you putting in to ensure that, as a professional, as a father, as a husband, as a son, as a friend, how are you ensuring that what you see as attractive on the digital space, whether it is social media or just streaming, is does not corrupt the values that you believe should be uncorruptible, and does not compromise your ability to still connect with people with the right values. I think that specific angle is not an easy one, and because we are human beings, right? So we do get influenced, and sometimes the influence is subtle. Sometimes, and the subtle ones, I think, is the ones that I worry the most, because it's like the boiling frog effect, right? You don't actually see the conditions around you changing, and you yourself changing. But at the same time, sometimes it is in your face, and you do wonder, okay, what do I do with this, or do I fight, or do I flight this specific change that is in my face, and how do I handle this? I do think that there is a couple of angles that I want to take beyond the integrity, and that is, you know, what does it mean to be kind of you when no one is watching, right? I think of an example like I hate running, right? I mean, I cannot stand running. I mean, we got a treadmill at home. I'm like, oh my word, I need to be running, and I just don't like running. But it's weird because as soon as so we have this program on I think it's called the Nordic track treadmill. Very, very fancy. My wife bought it for herself and I'm using it. And but as soon as you have kind of a video or that of someone else kind of doing a track and he's going climbing up a mountain, it's got like a display, a really nice display, probably 10-inch screen. And as soon as you kind of play a video for you to help, and of course it's all interrelated, right, all correlated into the machine, and you get going, all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I can do this, but it takes such a mission to get into that, to get going. And what's my point? My point here is that sometimes in order to discover our authentic self is to be pushed into the things that we will normally not do if nobody else is watching. We need a push. We need to get going. We need to fight for those values. We need to fight for the things that we believe are important. And unless you do that, you will be corrupted by the things that are not so important, which is likes and number of followers and your opinion that is so controversial, which is essentially based on people who actually don't know you. So, Anele, are you back? It's great to have you back. I was basically saying that I was going on the topic regarding, what you should be doing when nobody's watching, but it takes a lot of effort because nobody's watching. And but unless you do that, then you are compromised potentially to things that are online that are actually not worth the same values that you believe should be your values, yet you adopt them because you're actually not doing anything when nobody else is watching. I don't know what you take from what I've just said and how the angle that I've taken.
Yeah, I mean, I think it brings a much greater need once again for self-awareness and for us to do the work within ourselves. It's so easy. We're so distracted these days. We don't really want to go to therapy and put in the work and understand why we show up the way we show up in real life as opposed to online. And I think once we can find an alignment between who we choose to show up as and who we really are, it can actually work out quite beautifully when you realize that what you're putting out there is your values and what you are aligned with, as opposed to necessarily who you are or who you are trying to be in the larger scheme of things. Unfortunately, it's difficult because we are living in a curated space where people do use themselves as brands. We have influencers, so it's a precarious space, but I think it's also important for us as professionals on LinkedIn. Who do we say we are when we say we are delighted to start a new position? Who do we say we are when we show up with all the quotes and the inspiration, but we actually are horrible bosses, you know? Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know, man. I think at least for me, and I'm sure for anybody, because I don't think it's even about me. I think it's more about common sense. Is that whoever is an employee or a subordinate to someone who puts up all these beautiful quotes on LinkedIn and they see it and they're thinking, oh my goodness, this guy or this woman is so eloquent, yet she is the devil incarnated at meetings. What is that? Like, this is bipolar type stuff, man. Like, you are being bipolar right now.
yeah.
And I think it does worse in terms of branding because the very branding that is of any consequence is with the people that actually see you face to face.
Sure,
Which I think a lot of people don't get. Like, you think personal branding has got a lot to do with people who don't know anything about you, but it's got actually a lot more to do with people who do and see the
sure.
disconnect, right?
Yeah, and of course, like we've been speaking about in the last few weeks, personal branding and and all of that, it is about trust, right? So showing up authentically is about trust. We come from different generations. So if you are reporting to a board that is, what is it? Is it Gen X? I don't know. If you're
Mm-hmm.
reporting to a board from a different generation altogether, what's really important is still values and integrity. And it's important that we always show up that way because that's how we create trust in business and in work.
Yeah. I basically want to kind of touch the last kind of topic, which I think is quite important to tie everything up. What's your view on kind of the power or the influence of faith and ethics when it comes to this duality between digital and real self in terms of identity? What's your view on kind of what those two specific things play a part or not?
You mean like the Christian faith or just
Just
like
faith, just in
religion?
general, right? So I mean, when I say faith, I mean the values of what a faith or of a faith religion brings, which is quite common across all religions, right? So basically taking care of the needy, having a certain level of resilience towards a higher power that can do specific things for you. And more importantly, how you treat other people. So that's what I mean. Is that something that you feel is relatable to how people are behaving online as opposed to in reality?
Yeah, definitely. Because I think online would be, I think it's always existed, right? That's three-way relationship between integrity and your values and your faith, and it all kind of ties together. And I think in real life in 2025, it's just showing up more digital, you know? So you say you are this person and this is, the way, this is who you really are. And it can work for both, for good or for bad. It can be a great opportunity to influence values that are true to you and that hopefully are true to the audience you're speaking to. Or it could be a horrible opportunity to take advantage of people by influencing certain thoughts, using your faith, as opposed to the person you actually show up in real life, which is possibly like a thief, you know? So it is an interesting one. And I think we could go on and on about this because we've seen so many, as I said, so many interesting cases of high profile people who we've known in one way, but now have been exposed to be in other ways. And it makes you question, I've been reading this person's books for so many years, but why are they being exposed in this way? And how does that tie in to all the principles and the values and the theory that this person has been teaching me on how to show up in the world? But why are they on the Epstein list? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I think to summarize, my view is nobody's perfect, but at the same time, we should strive to be consistent. And I think and in that I think comes a natural acceptance for flaws, a natural acceptance for failures, and being okay with that. And I think when one is able to do that, whether you're doing that on social media or you're speaking in front of, you're at a bank in front of a teller and you're trying to make your case. If you keep on those principle of I'm flawed, but I am pursuing to be better every single day, and I'm okay with that, then I think you would yeah, you would definitely feel less judged and you will feel the need to judge less. And because I think all of that is all about judgment, both inward and external. And when you judge, it's because you're not okay with just the progress you're making or the progress that others are making. And
Sure.
that's just progress, right? At the end of the day, it's progress, irrespective. And people go through stuff and we need to be okay with their stuff and because we should be okay with our stuff. And so that's my take. My take is that I'm not perfect. I've but I'm willing and hopefully able to grow and to find ways and means to to say the person that you're seeing on screen is exactly the same person that you'll meet in reality, because all I see is progress that I need to make, and that's it. Now, definitely. I'm really grateful for this time. Anele, amazing, yeah. This was another episode of MoloMolo Tech Talk. I'm Dr. PK.
And I'm Anele.
Awesome time, guys. Really excited. I hope this was as refreshing as it was for me and Anele. Until next time, guys, really excited. We can't wait to hear the comments below on this topic. Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, ciao.